Hello and welcome back. My name is Artur Ganszyniec. I was the lead story designer for the first Witcher, and now I'm playing the game 18 years after the release.
Victory! Despite heavy losses, we now control the trade quarter.
Excellent. What news from De Wet?
He's dead, cut down by that godless butcher, the Witcher.
Useless De Wet. Have the town criers informed the people Ada has become a Strigger?
Yes, but the Witcher found the beast.
Geralt of Rivia. Only he stands between me and... We must fan the flames of chaos. Release more of our experiments, and let the elves wreak havoc.
Grandmaster, I must protest, as a nobleman and representative of...
Enough. Give the people more food, and tell them any God-fearing human can find shelter at the castle of the Order of the Flaming Rose. Adalbert, I thank you for your loyal service. Take him away. A new era dawns. An era of superhumans. None will stop me. I appoint you my new adjutant. Know your assignment?
Kill the Witcher.
Then go.
Geralt, you've arrived at a moment that should be called nothing short of historic.
Dandelion, I'm glad you're alive too, but I have important matters.
More important than a Temerian-Redanian alliance with far-reaching consequences?
Stop being dramatic and tell me what's happening.
Allow me some common courtesy. Triss, my joy at this meeting.
Triss, tell this clown to get to the point.
So what's this historic moment, Dandelion?
With the kingdom in flames, Foltest struck a deal with his neighbors.
Doubtless with that ambitious pup Radovid of Redania. Geralt, Foltest should learn of the Grandmaster's betrayal. We need to talk to the king.
And so we arrive to the epilogue, and probably we will be finishing the game today. Let me first introduce what's happening. We learned that the Order of the Flaming Rose was behind the Salamandra who stole Witch's experiment, and we see that the Grandmaster is using stolen Witch's secrets to conduct some unholy experiment and create some mutant warriors. From the story perspective, there is one thing that becomes obvious here. That the choice between Shani and Triss is not very symmetric, but I think that's good, because symmetry is like too elegant. Because you see, the political subplot of this game is very important, and the epilogue is very political with kings and alliances, and there is a place for a sorceress here, but there's not really a place for a common medic like Shani. So for the most part of the epilogue, we will be accompanied by Triss, although we chose Shani, and that's a bit awkward, and but that's also how life is. And as you know, in The Witcher 2, Triss is the default companion or romantic interest. And you might meet Shani again in Witcher 3, but I think I don't know, not the problem, but it started here, where we realized that the thing is so political that we just need a sorceress here.
You must find fun somehow.
And you know Radovid from, if you played Witcher 2 and Witcher 3. You know him, and here is where his political career really took off.
I shall forgive you all your affronts.
Welcome, Witcher.
Sire.
We have several things to discuss.
Of course.
Stop deliberating, son. We need to put out the fire in this whorehouse. You'll get the princess's hand, and if life has taught me anything, half the kingdom as soon as I'm gone. As for de Aldersberg, we need to be rid of him. The Witcher will slay him.
What?
Relax, we'll pay you as much as you want.
I'm a Witcher, not a hit. All right. 10,000.
Isn't that a bit much?
Come on, Foltest, the kingdom's worth a lot more than that.
Yes, I suppose the boy's right. But you shall take home 8,000.
It's a deal.
So, we're all agreed. Radovid, your armies must subdue the Order in Redania and in the north of my lands.
My armies will embark on a mission of fraternal assistance.
I don't want any fucking fraternal assistance. The phrase rubs me the wrong way. You are to smash the Knights of the Order and withdraw.
Relax, Foltest. My children will rule this land. I don't intend to destroy it.
Forgive me, your majesties, but I feel it's time
One more thing, Witcher.
Yes?
So, let's talk politics. And don't you dare mention neutrality. Judging by your company, you're already involved. Possibly up to your nose.
Sire, your wish is my command.
To the average pleb in the street, the Order is fighting my armies, but make no mistake. This is a confrontation between me and the Grandmaster, that ambitious fanatic.
Directed all of Salamandra's actions and intentionally provoked the uprising.
What do you mean?
I thought you'd be interested, sire.
Very interested. The son of a bitch is attacking me with steel, poison, and magic.
It is time for you to choose your allies, and you must choose well, sire.
I see our sweet sorceress has already begun indoctrinating you.
I believe it's time we finalized our agreement, sire. I will counsel and support you with wise words and magic.
And with that of your esteemed female friends? Indeed you may. But don't forget, Marigold, I rule this bordello. Don't turn into Philippa. You're too pretty for that.
King, sorceress, and witcher united against evil. Worthy of a painting. But all will be lost if we delay any longer. Sire, one other matter.
Witcher?
How is Ada feeling?
Much better than she was as a Strigger, yet she won't be herself again for some time. Witcher, how can I thank you?
I'm glad Ada is alive and well. Can you ensure that the Witcher's friends will be the same, sire?
Yes, that's something I can promise. Witcher, I wish to know who was behind all this.
DeWitt transformed the princess.
How so?
He wanted to gain influence with your enemies.
The bastard! If I could get my hands on him.
Those responsible assumed your position would be undermined if the princess wreaked havoc as a Striga. DeWitt has been punished.
I'm glad to hear it. Now go. Vizima is burning, fighting rages. You won't have an easy time of it.
People see witchers as monster slayers. Rightly so. Few know we draw greater satisfaction from removing a curse or a spell. Swords are a final resort. As long as there was a chance I could save the princess, I had to try. It was worth it.
No.
Okay, so let's unpack a few things. First, I love like here we show the kings like haggling about small details, like like normal people who they are. Then maybe you notice that it was not the player but the Radovid who got the princess's hand and half of the kingdom. So again showing that that Geralt is not a normal, not your usual protagonist of a fairy tale. He's just a facilitator, and the fairy tales are happening to other people. Also, from a narrative perspective, you might have noticed that Geralt, although he's lower in the status than the kings, and he don't really get to decide what's going on, he was the one who brought the crucial part of it, the crucial information, that part of the puzzle, that the Grandmaster was behind all that. So, and that allows the player to feel good in the scene, like to feel that they matter and they change things and they have agency. Because in a story, the protagonist should be the one like changing things rather than watching other people change things. And we got a nice flashback for saving the Striga. So Ada was saved, and now there is a wedding, and Redania and Temeria are united. And by the way, that was one thing that we consulted with Andrzej Sapkowski during the production. We asked him what he thinks about Temerian, Redanian alliance and Radovid marrying Ada. And of course he answered that because he didn't write about it, those facts do not exist and there is no canon, but the idea is not stupid. So we took it as a yes. Okay, and let's go. Let's talk to our friend.
Then bold Foltest uttered these words. Virtuous Radovid.
What the hell is that?
I'm trying to keep a faithful and accurate record of these events.
He said, "Stop deliberating, son. We need to put out the fire in this whorehouse."
Geralt, you have no sense of poetry. There's the truth of time and the truth of legend.
You'll never change.
The pen is mightier than the sword, and you'll never change either. Off to save the world again when nobody's asked you.
Okay, so this will be a pretty action-packed chapter, and we often grab the player by a dialogue like here to make sure that everything that's need to be said is said, and the player has one last chance to take a look at his storage and stuff like this. And there are like small like the truth of the legend. That's a changed quote from one of Polish comedies. Like this part that Foltest said about brotherly assistance. Well, that is how it was officially called when the Russian troops, the Soviet troops, were stationing in Poland. It was a brotherly assistance. So that's why that's what we were making fun of. And take a look at the location. This is Temple Vizima, but we made some changes. This is a copy of the original location, with many paths blocked. We will be going through a railroad, and that's first because it's not a time to explore, it's the time to finish things. So this whole episode, this whole chapter is very action oriented, but the second reason is that the fires, the changes, they were pretty heavy on the memory. The fire and the changes were expensive, so we had to change as less as possible, and you will see how we managed to do that. And the sky is different in this chapter. It's burning, so no Thaler here. We can't go here. We have these scenes where we can see the fighting, and from time to time something happens, like here's Siegfried.
If I were a rich man.
Move, Geralt. I don't want to fight.
Then don't force me.
Stand aside. I have my orders. We must save this kingdom.
And I have a choice here. I can fight him or let him go. I'll try to convince him to do the right thing.
Then leave the civilians alone and fight.
And I don't want to fight him.
True. We must fight the real enemy. Those elven rejects. Boys, form up.
And the civilians?
They better leave. People, flee this place. Your king may provide shelter in these terrible times.
Leave if you value your lives.
So, as you can see, Siegfried proved to be a good guy, and where can we go? Everything is blocked here, and that's why we have a refugee. He's green, so he probably has to say something to us.
Come inside, it's safer.
You're right.
And we used a lot of tricks to show this location that we know very well from the last, from the second and third chapter, to show it in a new light. Here are refugees, our old friends.
Prospering dwarf.
War can be profitable. If not for the king's taxes, the plague take them.
How did you get here?
Don't you see? Knights, soldiers, and Scoia'tael run through the streets, cutting down who they can. I am a traitor to all of them.
I see.
And all their heads are filled with prophecies, destinies, strange signs, and other nonsense. No one to talk to.
Sorry to hear that, but I need to go. Farewell.
Greetings, Witcher.
Greetings.
I'm afraid. The time for contempt has come, just as prophesied.
I don't care about prophecies. I care about the lives of ordinary people.
I know you care about people. I saw Carmen happy with the captain of the guards. You know they got married?
Nice to hear.
Thanks to you, Witcher. I heard you cast a spell on Vincent. That poor girl deserved a little happiness.
Poor girl.
Carmen endured a lot. She lived in the outskirts. Her father was a priest of the Eternal Fire, a damnable man of religion. When Carmen got pregnant, he cast her out. She went to Vizima. You know how that ended.
I didn't know.
So here we got like a lot of little epilogues, learning what happened to the people we met on the way, and we learned that Carmen was Reverend's daughter, like the Reverends from chapter 1.
You here?
On an important mission for the king.
Praiseworthy. I too wish to offer Foltest my services as an advisor in these difficult times. Sadly, I could not get through burning Vizima.
I need to get to the monastery.
I have learned much about a phenomenon of interest to you. The Wild Hunt.
That's the hermit from chapter 4.
Tell me.
In folk culture, the king of the Wild Hunt embodies death. He is the one who takes away souls. He is oft considered as the tool of destiny.
Destiny?
The Wild Hunt is an omen of war and tragedy. It has oft been seen recently near Vizima. Beware.
I must go. Farewell.
So, as I already said, in the first Witcher, the Wild Hunt is more like the Wild Hunt from the legends. We didn't know yet they are elves in armors. We really thought of them as rites and omens of death and tools of destiny. This part will probably need to be changed a bit in the remake. And here's our acquaintance.
Witcher! Good to see you.
I see war is to your liking, Vitala.
I no longer need to hide in the cemetery. It's safer here. I come out at night, find food in the streets. Can't complain.
The inhabitants of this home have no objection?
They fear me. The little brat comes alone, talks without end.
I must go. Farewell.
Oh yeah, let's go and talk to the little girl, perhaps. Because I missed her, and she was somewhere. Oh, she's here.
Julian left for Kovir. The temple school? Boring. I know all.
Okay, so she came here with the hermit from chapter 4. So as you can see, we are trying to tie all the loose ends, but not to overly, info dump the player. If someone is interested, they can learn a lot about what happened to.
I can't open this door without a key.
and we use the key to make sure that the player opens the crate and gets some supplies, which will be needed soon. And yeah, this is a dangerous area. So in the neighboring cellar there were some monsters. No match for us, luckily.
Go away!
There were monsters in the cellar.
I'll die anyway. They'll find me. They'll get me.
Calm down. How do we get out?
Through the window.
Thanks.
And as you can see, this whole chapter is about people just stuck together in times of war, very unusual companions. And I wish we could have an animation of going out through the window, but we don't have. When we'll go out, I will tell you an anecdote about this part of Epilogue, but first we must do some stuff. And here
the sight of you sickens me.
We meet Yevin.
Teruviel is dead. I know enough to blame you for her death. You certainly played a part.
And here, just like with Siegfried, we can either confront him or try to diffuse the situation. And as you can see, usually we write shorter versions of dialogues, and after you click, you hear the full line here, because we needed the player to know exactly what will be going to, what's the intention, what's the full context of the story. We decided to show the whole line, but it happens very rarely. But here the clarity was very important.
Open your eyes, Yevin. Your beloved war killed her. Stop drowning the world in blood. Try building for a change.
Humans, elves, dwarves, we all hate. We all kill. This cannot go on. Fail, Wolf.
Okay, and we leave them behind. But Aelus, there are some new enemies coming. And let's try not to. Oh, yeah, that's that's the unfortunate part, that by mistake I attacked an elf, and now I will just have to kill them all, and I didn't really wanted to do that, but oh well, this is war. And I should have been more careful with group style. And to be honest, it's all my fault anyway, because this chapter, Epilogue, was one that I implemented in the most part. It was almost the end of the production, and the team was very busy with finishing the previous chapters, and we had this choice either to really make a really short and almost non-existent epilogue, or we needed to find some extra time. And so we decided with Jacek Brzeziński, who was the I don't know, studio head, probably it was called at this time, but he was the in charge of this of the production of the game. We decided to spend some nights to implement the epilogue. So during the day we worked on what we usually worked on, and during the nights we were implementing the epilogue, and that's how the epilogue was done. And to be perfectly honest, oh, I died. Yeah. I died because I took no notice of the level of toxicity. So I'm sorry. But maybe this time we'll manage to focus on the bad guys and use the elves as allies, not enemies. So anyway, while the team was working on finishing the rest of the chapters, we with Jacek were working on the epilogue, and I was writing the quests and dialogues. Jacek was, if I remember correctly, setting up the fights and stuff like this, and I'm not sure we finished implementing it. Probably we just like got it to some, let's say, alpha level, and then the rest of the team finished their other tasks and were able to finish the epilogue. But the most of the epilogue was I was the one implementing it, so I got only myself to blame for everything that's happening here. I'm really trying not to die. Okay, so and I promised you an anecdote.
We'll have to get dirty. The only way to the monastery leads through the sewers.
The Order doesn't guard it?
Not since a Zeugl made its nest there. A big one.
It's had a lot of fresh meat. I hope it hasn't had time to procreate.
I doubt it found a mate.
Zeugls don't need mates. They're hermaphrodites.
Yeah, that was a part of lore from the books. But the anecdote was that when I was testing the epilogue, and as you remembered, when we got out of the window, there should be a dialogue with Yavin. But when I was testing the epilogue, after I got out of the window, there's a black screen, and the game didn't progress. It was a hard blocker. And we had no idea what was going on. So I sat with one of the testers. Probably that was Jakub Styliński, who later, he now has his own game studio. They released games like Raycon and Middle Eden. But back then, he was a QA lead for the first Witcher. And we sat and we tried to debug what's going on. And in the first Witcher, every dialogue starts with a black screen where all the people who are part of the dialogue are teleported to the places they should be. And then the black screen disappears and the dialogue starts. But here, the black screen didn't disappear and the dialogue didn't start. And when we looked at in the logs, after a lot of looking, we realized that Yavin wasn't there. That the game told Yavin couldn't spawn because he is dead. And we thought, how? Why? Who killed him? And we made sure that there's nothing here on the location that could kill him. So we started thinking, we were stuck for a moment. And then I thought, when was the last time we saw Yavin? And it was at the end of chapter 3 in the Salamandra hideout, when he talks with us. We are separated by this magical barrier, And then he goes away.
I can't meditate with the fire out. Seems I have to light it first. I can't meditate with the fire out. Seems I have to light it first.
That was really stupid.
Seems
And I and I can't cast Igni here because it is a safe location. Maybe there will be something to loot here. Where are the bodies? No bodies here. That is extremely stupid design. Arthur, you should be ashamed. Anyway, so in chapter 3, Yevin talked with us and then disappeared. And we checked everything, and that was the only moment where something, must have gone wrong. And to debug this situation at the end of chapter 3, it took a lot of effort because there were quests and triggers and scripts, and the scripts triggered new scripts and stuff like this. That was like a lot of debugging to do. But finally we learned what was going on. At the end of the scene, this very scene, Yevin got a command from the script that said despawn. But for some reason, it was not the usual command for the spawning NPCs. It was an deprecated command that shouldn't be used anymore. But the designer who was making this, implementing the scene, used it. I don't know, by mistake, by curiosity, maybe he was bored. But the result was that he used a command that had a very specific connotation. The commands did something like this: despawn the character, mark the character as dead, and make sure that the character never spawns again. But it wasn't. It was hard to notice. It wasn't in the name of the command. It was somewhere deep in the documentation for the scripting language. So at the first glance, it looked like he even despawned, and we didn't know that the game remembered that he must never spawn again under any circumstances. We learned that only in in Epilogue here, when we wanted to spawn him again for the dialogue. And to fix, to make sure that was the problem, we had to fix the script. And then, because at this moment of production changes in the game corrupted all saves, someone had to play the game again up to chapter 3, help the elves, talk with Yevin, play chapter 4, play chapter 5, go to the epilogue, go out of the window and see if Yevin spawned. He did, but it was hours of play just to test this, if this one big bug was fixed. So as you can see, making games is all in all a very complicated affair. And here we will be having a boss fight.
It's somewhere in the sewers. Any advice?
Don't get eaten.
I'm serious.
Stay out of range of its tentacles. Zeugls harbor all kinds of contagion. If you have any spells against infection...
I should have. Let's go.
Okay. Let's see if we have anything that could help us. maybe we'll just, you know, sharpen our sword, and then we'll be just, you know, drinking potions and hoping for the best. This is a nice boss fight, but it may take a long time to kill the Zeugl. Let's see. We really wanted to use this monster, and because it was relatively easy to make and animate, and there was a potential for a really nice boss fight. And again, we are reconceptualizing the sewers. It's a location we knew before, and now we see the sewers, the different part of the sewers. We see the sewers from a different perspective, in a different context. I like this in the epilogue a lot. So first of all, we will have to kill the tentacles. But you know, trying. And here we have Zeugl. Oh, I missed him again. Okay, whatever. I'm trying to find the best way to navigate the situation. They're not really. They're pretty hard to. They're easy to kill, but they are hard to. Okay. And. Okay, and tentacles again. It's. I'm not really a fan of not of the boss fight, but of the camera and the control. Okay, and tentacles again. This one is a big one. Okay, there might be a good moment to drink the sparrow. And as you can see, in games there is always a problem, or sometimes there is a problem of how to make sure that the player won't run from the boss fight situation. And there are some magical barriers used, or physical barriers. Here we have those unkillable tentacles that were blocking the way. Okay, that went pretty okay. I don't know why we need money now in this end times, but still. And here, as you can see, we have a conveniently placed fireplace and a body, and the body has a lot of alchemical ingredients, and that's because we wanted to make sure that the player will be able to make this potion from Zeugl. Zeugl. Okay, where is this? I thought I I thought I had I thought that I had this formula, but clearly I don't have it. Never mind. Never mind. I'm playing for the feels anyway. So yeah. So I missed some leveling up opportunity, but never mind. And here we go up again. And using those shortcuts to the sewers, we got the chance to skip parts of the location. And this boss fight would be hard to do in the main location.
Led by a madman. Again, someone will have to decide for them. This time, it'll be us.
I'd rather they made their own decisions.
Are you sure that's what they want?
We need to give them the chance. Let's go.
So a part of, philosophical questions. And as you can see, we clearly thought that the player will go further because this part of location is just empty and nothing really happens here. So some changes to the location, and as I said, we kept the changes to minimum because they were expensive, and we used the shortcuts to hide the fact. Okay, and here we have some big brothers to fight. There's a lot of hard enemies in this chapter, but Triss is really a help here. I like those enemies. I like the design, and they were very tough in the 5th chapter, but now I got a hold of how to fight them. And as I said, the fire is very memory consuming, so you can see that this part of location is bare. In chapter 2 and 3 there were some foliage here, but it got removed to keep the fire going. I mean, I'm talking about memory here. And the original idea for the epilogue was that we, in this earlier version of the script, when we were supposed to travel south to the lands controlled by the chapter of the Flaming Rose, by the Order of the Flame Rose, there was so we are supposed to travel south to the lands controlled by the Order of the Flaming Rose, and the epilogue was supposed to take place in the castle of the Order, but the locations got cut from the production and we didn't have the castle. So we tried to recreate the idea using the assets we had. And as you can see, these are gates to the cloister of the Order, and when we go inside, we can see Oh, not yet.
Almost there. We'll find Jacques de Aldersberg in the monastery.
Damn, I'm out of potions. Could I ask you to...
Geralt, what would you do without me? Wait here. I'll be back in a blink.
Yeah, that was a lame excuse to get Triss away, because Geralt has to do this alone. So, when we get inside the monastery of the Order of the Flame Grows, it looks like we created, like we prepared this location, but it's not. You know, it's an illusion. This is a room from the castle. When we were playing in the castle, I told you, see that the door is locked. There is something behind the door, and this is something behind the door. This is this is inside the Foltest's castle, but we added some Order of the Flaming Rose decorations, trying to hide as many Temerian lilies as we could, and we just pretend that this is a separate location. That's how you make games.
Halt! No passage.
Smoke and mirrors.
I'm here on a matter of national importance.
Shove off. The Grandmaster seeks solitude.
Sorry, you give me no choice.
Death!
So yeah, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and here it's time to confront the Grandmaster. As many great leaders in the history, he's posing with children and babies to show the world that he's not the bad guy, or not a bad guy.
My people. They feast at my table, find warmth at my fire, and glow with happiness to be separated from the turmoil of war.
You're deluded if you think the sight of women and children will make me leave you alone.
I do not intend to deceive you. The white frost approaches, a cataclysm that will bury the world beneath snow and ice. Each night, I dream of icy wastelands and the death of the old civilizations.
I've heard Ithlina's prophecy.
The cataclysm is unavoidable. Kings prefer to wage local wars to expand their influence, while elves have become terrorists fighting for a lost cause.
He's not wrong, you know.
Needs a savior, a man of the moment, someone to kindle the flame in people's hearts.
But here, I'm not sure.
You, savior of the world.
Come, I will show you something. Humans are weak, frail, and inclined toward evil. I shall create a new man, perfect, tempered in the eternal fire.
This is also the castle.
Because if you are...
You doubt me? I do not blame you. I had my doubts too. Yet now, my vision is strong.
And here comes the second and final part of the epilogue. That was Ice Plains. It was the last location we could do. We had to keep it simple, and as you can see, this is mostly ice texture and reused assets. And this is the second location that was created for this particular script. The lakeshore and Ice Plains.
Behold, the scales will fall from your eyes, and you will understand.
Juggler's tricks. I expected more.
You think this an illusion? Oh no, Geralt, it's nothing of the sort.
Where are we?
See for yourself. Follow me.
So this is Vizima, trapped in ice. A post-apocalyptic vision of the world, straight from Ethlina's prophecy. This gives me similar vibe like the world-hopping part of The Witcher 3. Something awesome.
Now that you have seen the ice-encased towers of Vizima, do you understand?
You're rambling to Aldersburg. What do you want?
This is the future. The White Frost has destroyed human civilization. This is the end of time. Do we lose heart, surrender? Never. We can yet avoid our fate.
Save your rhetoric for the plebs.
Understand, the Order and Salamandra acted only to save humanity.
Every criminal claims a higher cause.
You lack humility. Time for a lesson in some.
I like the effect. And we are clearly communicating the player the goal of this location. You have to go there. And here suddenly we have some enemies to fight. And what is this place? This is a really good question, and I think this is a vision by Grandmaster, a dream so strong and so real that it becomes reality, or maybe a dream influenced by reality, one of the future realities. But also this is a place of visions.
Are you all right?
You? Here? How?
That is the nature of this place.
This place or this time?
More a vision born in the mind of the Grand Master. Flashes of the future colored by his fears and beliefs. You may encounter strange things, the consequences of your decisions. There's nothing behind us but a blizzard, and nothing beyond it but death.
As long as I get the Grand Master at the end.
I'll follow in case you need help.
So, the original idea for the epilogue was that in the castle of the Order, you'd encounter many of the people you met during your game, and they will help you or hinder you somehow based on what you did. And we don't have the castle of the Order, of course, but we kept this general idea that within the vision, and it's much easier, trust me, to just, make them show up in the vision, that within the vision, they appear to help you or hinder you. And skullheads, like those monsters, the original skullhead was created for one of the old demo versions of the game, for the previous version of one of the previous versions of the script, and we slightly improved the character models and reuse them here as the inhabitants of this strange place.
You haven't changed a bit, Witcher. Again, you emerge from nowhere to kill humans.
What humans? As always, you're perplexing.
Behold the remains of humanity. Ape men, wretched creatures worthy of disdain. Some my own great-grandchildren.
They're human?
The white frost has stripped humanity of its luxurious robes. All that's left are beasts that think only of eating and procreating. They are human no longer. Their base instincts drive them like the lynch mob from which you saved me. I'm grateful. Take my gift.
So yeah, the school has a bit like Morlocks in the Time Traveler book, like wrapped remains of humanity. When we were designing this location, we wanted to do things differently and try something new. And one of the designers and one of the artists spent some time locked in a conference room and thinking about how the location should look like. And they made a model out of Play-Doh, like plasticine, to try some ideas. And the first idea for the location, the one they decided on, was that it will be a vertical location. And the first idea was that the place where the ruins where Grandmaster teleported to were at the top, and the path went like spiraling from the bottom to the ruins. But when they started making the location here in the engine, in Aurora engine, things look much better when they are flat. So the location changed a bit. There's this flat part we are traveling through now, and then there is this vertical part going up to the ruins. But the general idea survived.
I see you have met our degenerate great-grandchildren. Do you understand now why you cannot oppose my plan?
You have yet to say how all this ice justifies your crimes.
Only a grand plan pursued without hesitation could save humanity from what I saw in my visions.
Trust your daydreams that much?
Many of the gifted foresaw the white frost. Global cooling is this world's destiny.
Why fight it then?
You always believed man makes his own destiny. I seek to change all humanity's fate.
You robbed humanity of its right to decide. You understand nothing.
Geralt, I hear the wails of those who perished, hear their cries, and you will know my pain.
You might notice that he used almost the same words Geralt used in chapter 4 when talking to Alvin about destiny. And somehow the Grandmaster is repeating the words. But he misunderstood us, clearly, I think.
Death follows you.
And you know, the fight with the Zeugl was harder than the fights here, but that's usually how we do this. The
Murderers never know peace.
Those thoughts always come too late.
As if I had a choice. You never knew feelings that controlled your every step.
I know it's hard to act contrary to your feelings.
We're toys in the hands of fate. Before it casts us apart, accept my gift.
So as you can see here, we begin to appreciate the verticality of the location. But we talked about it previously. In this default camera, such location just don't look so good, because you mainly see just the floor texture, and that's why most of the locations in the game were flat, and only when we added the over-the-shoulder camera you could really appreciate the verticality. There are no hidden treasures here, just just ice and death. But this is something new. I really like how this game, it keeps surprising the player. You can never be sure what the next chapter will be, and yes, that's on purpose.
Do you finally understand, obstinate Witcher? Humanity will perish. The few who remain will become animals. My plan would avoid this.
What plan, damn it?
The human nations can only survive the cold through a mass exodus south.
With you leading them?
I'm prepared to do so. I see the future. I command respect. I would rule well. Of course, I had to get rid of any standing in the way, especially non-humans.
Why so obsessed about other races?
I was prepared to sacrifice anything, to save humanity at all costs. Do you know the saying, the ends justify the means?
I do. You sound pathetic, de Aldersberg, as if you believed your own lies.
Non-humans, their extinction is not a goal, but a means. Since you detest humans so, I'll leave you with my no longer human serfs. You have much in common. You should get along.
The Grandmaster is really trying to convince Geralt that he's right, because down there he really cares for Geralt's opinion for reasons that are pretty obvious to anyone who's been paying attention. And might be a bit surprising for those who weren't. So only blood and snow. And we are almost there, almost at the top.
You thought you could stand aside.
I wanted no part of politics. I'm a Witcher. I'm neutral.
We fought for those we love. You scorn that, for you'll never understand it.
A machine created to kill. You had no choice. Your time has passed.
You're obsolete. The world has no use for you. Lay down your sword and rest, Geralt.
Have the courage to face me, Jacques. Stop hiding behind specters and illusions. I'll find you.
You won't get the chance.
And when we are neutral, we have to fight everyone. Because often that's how it works. When you're not with someone, you are against them. Or they think you are against them. And so we have to kill both Siegfried's and the Avin's ghosts, phantoms. As you can see, the mutated assassins have some of Geralt's moves.
Look, Alvin.
An illusion, Shani.
Yes, and a foreshadow of things to come.
How stubborn you are. I could use you to shepherd my sheep during the first years of winter.
I doubt you mean it. You stole our secrets from Kaer Morhen, used them for the worst ends.
I needed witches, but knew the secrets of mutation had been lost. You witches had it all, but lacked courage and vision. I merely did what you desired in your hearts.
You took them as if they were your own. You're a thief, a hypocrite.
Are you incapable of seeing the golden path of my dreams? My knights will explain it to you in a way you will understand.
And again, Jacques de Aldersberg used or Geralt's words in his own misguided interpretation. And maybe that's one of the things that the game is trying to show us, that there is nothing more dangerous than a man who is convinced he knows what to do. A man that is convinced that he knows the future and that he knows what's best for everyone. And that's what the Grandmaster is convinced of. But is he right? Would his plan be worth the cost? I'm not really sure. And Geralt clearly disagrees. And here is my favorite encounter in the epilogue. I really had fun when I got the idea and when we implemented it.
One for the other.
True, Your Highness.
I should know, wouldn't you say? The Grand Master is clearly a madman. Even I wouldn't dare pursue a plan like his. We must stop him.
Milady, your wish is my command.
You have class, a rare quality. I wish to fight alongside you. Call it a whim.
Yeah. We get to fight with the Striga. Alongside with the Striga. And the tricks you do to make sure that the player can't go back. And I think that was the last cutscene of Geralt jumping, because as you know, in Aurora Engine Geralt, witches cannot jump, only in cutscenes. But that was the last time, I promise. Okay. I should have drank the potion against that prevents me from being knocked down. it's a good thing that Shani is here with her healing abilities. Come on, ladies. Thank you. And we are nearing the end.
Why?
None can enter the heart of the vision besides you. The Grandmaster won't allow it.
Very well. Thank you.
Be safe.
Yes, and this is the one moment when we force meditation, because we just want the player to prepare. Okay, I think that will be it. And time to face Grandmaster.
Now, do you see the need to act, whatever the price? Geralt, open your eyes, open your mind.
He's still trying to convince Geralt.
By pursuing me, you proved me right. You faced the dangers that humanity faces and survived.
Jacques de Aldersberg, your dream is over.
Patience. You may yet change your mind. Imagine thousands traversing an icy wasteland. Could you defend them? You and a handful of witches ridden with doubt, like Berengar? Impossible. Only the greater brothers can do that. But they need to be taught and led. They need you.
I also have an offer. Surrender. Withdraw your mutants. Humble yourself before the king. You'll save many lives.
How confident you seem. A painful lesson awaits.
Yes. And now we got another level. That's not a good timing. Because there will be no more chances to meditate in this chapter. But at least we kicked some mutants' ass. Okay, so let's drink some potions. Yeah. So he sometimes encases us in this block of ice. Then he wakes up more ifrits. And we have to change the swords between silver and steel, which is not very convenient. But I think we will manage. But we are prepared. And as I was saying sometime before, usually the last boss fight is easier than the semi-last boss fight, because the last fights are usually really just a reward for the player, not the main challenge. Usually the difficulty spikes up before the end of the game, and then you just have to kill the bad guy.
Again, Wolf. Have you fulfilled your destiny?
Salamandra is dying, soon to be a memory.
Salamandra means nothing. It was but a particle of chaos, the tool of the madman you just slew. Your past, your destiny, the reasons for your resurrection, all remain unknown.
Words, words, words.
You've always used them ably to mask uncertainty and fear. I once promised I would follow you.
Gibberish, Spectre. Tell me what you want or disappear. I believe that's what I said, and I will say it again if you don't get to the point.
I come for the soul of the man you killed.
1 second.
Reflect on your deeds, Witcher. I stood near you when you arrived at Kaer Morhen, an omen of its downfall. I observed as you judged the villagers of the outskirts, leaving only blood and fire behind you. You brought death upon Raymond, endangered Shani, mindful only of your goals. Chaos followed in your wake. You slaughtered dozens with your witcher's sword. You threw gold to the Scoia'tael, fueling new massacres. You left Vizima in chaos, only to bring destruction upon murky waters. Every one of your decisions brought further devastation. Each choice you made led to greater evil. Vizima blazes. The Order and the Scoia'tael bleed Temeria. Does your neutrality not taste bitter?
Stop.
Do not deny it, Witcher. You are my greatest champion, a perfect means of destruction. Wherever you walk, death and chaos follow. Now, as it was years ago, accept it. Do not fight it. Give up to me yet another man you destroyed.
Jacques de Aldersberg is mine.
You dare to oppose me? I sense your weakness as your life seeps from your wounds. With every drop, death draws nearer. You stand no chance against me. Yield to me.
Okay. So here, the King of the Hunt is still just, or maybe not just, but the personification of death. And that will take some retrofitting in the remake, I think. But what he does, he says to Geralt, you basically work for me. Everything you do brings chaos, destruction. I like it. So just stop pretending. But Geralt is all about pretending and trying to do the right thing. So, of course, we will not yield to the death itself.
Never. This is between him and me.
You aim to kill him anyway.
True, but for my reasons, and they're nothing to you. Clear off while you can. Go before it's too late.
You want to fight me? So be it. Your flight from death ends here. Draw your sword.
I was afraid you'd suggest chess.
Yeah, because that's usually how you do it in pop culture. You play chess with death to save a soul, but not this time. This time we'll do it as like Witcher does, using a silver sword and perhaps some potions. Yeah, pretty good at this, fighting destiny and death, I must say. Okay. And now it's time to end this. And I wanted to fight the King of the Hunt because, firstly, I don't like him, and secondly, I really like this cutscene here. Maybe that's the moment when Jack the Elder of Spurg realizes what he became, or maybe not. We'll never know.
That sword is for monsters.
You might also notice that the King of the Hunt says, we don't know why you came back. And that's what we wanted to say to the player. This was just an introduction. You will still have chance to learn what happened to Geralt, why he came back, maybe in the later games. We didn't know the answers at that time, but we knew that we wanted to answer them. And this courtyard, this is also the Vizima's castle.
Where's the Grandmaster?
A few steps away. He's dead. For a minute there, I thought you were gone too.
Hardly a pleasant nap. Was I out long?
Long enough. The fighting has been quelled. Foltest has regained control. However, Triss supported him. The effects have been shocking.
Is she all right?
She's fine. She stayed by you until I arrived. Then she had to go. You know, political duties.
Caught between the king, her sorceress friends, and her personal life.
What about you? Did you succeed?
Yes. I'll take the final element from Jacques and close this chapter.
So this courtyard, you might know it from Witcher 3. This is the courtyard in Foltest Castle, but we, dressed it up as a courtyard in the Order monastery. And here are the remains of the Grandmaster of the Order of the Flaming Rose. What do we have here? Secret stone from Kermoren and an amulet, and Weimeritium amulet that we may recognize. And something ends, something begins, as Andrzej Sapkowski used to write. And they are just us. Geralt, the Witcher, and his friend Dandelion. And this is the time to end this playthrough. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you also liked it.
So, did you recover everything?
Know what I found on the Grandmaster? A Dimeridium pendant.
The one you gave Alvin?
I don't know. It looks the same, but older. He must have worn it under his armor for years.
A true keepsake, perhaps.
Maybe it was his way of repelling hostile magic. Or it was there to control inborn abilities, unrelenting visions.
That's something we'll never know.
It doesn't matter. Jacques de Aldersberg, if that was his name, is dead. End of story.
What's next, Geralt?
What do you mean?
Come now. You've recovered what was stolen, punished those who hurt you, you played politics and dismantled conspiracies. You've loved, you've killed, you've come a long way, Geralt. What do you intend to do now?
So, first of all, what we know happened, like as the designers, is that in Chapter 4, when the elves and the Order fought in Murky Waters, Alvin panicked and teleported away, but he teleported also years back. And then he grew up remembering his childhood. I think that for most of the time, because timekeeping wasn't really, a common thing, like in those times, and he was a kid, so probably not really paying attention to dates. I think that for most of his life, he didn't realize that he went back in time. He probably grew somewhere else in a different country, in a different time. He might have heard about the Witcher, but Witchers live a long time. So probably at some time he might have realized what happened, but he was troubled by the visions, so he probably wasn't, 100% sane. But you can see how the events of his childhood shaped who he was as an adult, as it happens with humans. And you can see that Geralt was a really important character in his life. And so when he was thinking about the solution, he thought about Geralt, about witches, about the mutagens, and this is how the intrigue of the game started. And I think that up to the last moment, he was convinced that maybe he believed that maybe he will be able to convince Geralt to join him, because he thought he was doing the right thing. And Geralt, on the other hand, somehow shaped him. He was not the only influence, because there was a lot of trauma that bent Alvin into Jack of Aldersberg, but Geralt was a very important influence in his life. But that's a closed chapter. And what now? This is where we allow the player for the last characterization of Geralt. Do they feel tired? Do they feel intrigued? Do they feel open for the future? I will answer as the classical Geralt, trying not to take a stance and not to reveal too much about what I really feel.
I don't know.
Not to be trite, but as always, you'll be the leaf carried by the wind. Not to be trite, but as always, you'll be the leaf carried by the wind, on an eternal voyage in search of purpose and meaning.
Enough philosophy, Dandelion. I did what I had to, and now I'll be on my way.
What can I say? Godspeed on your path, Witcher.
And this is how we imagine the ending of the game.
Vizima into charred ruins. Foltest, however, found a solution. He let the two sides bleed each other. The Order's power waned quickly following the Grandmaster's mysterious death. The flower of elven youth perished. Fighting in Vizima's streets, there were no victors. The non-human uprising weakened Temeria, and Foltest realized he would need capable diplomats. Triss Merigold became a royal advisor. Sorceresses gained influence. The king punished or exiled those who had plotted against him in his absence. They were, of course, soon replaced by others. Common folk saw no difference. They were too busy licking their wounds, seeking loved ones. Few people knew what had actually happened in those days in Vizima. They were those who destiny had brought together with Geralt of Rivia. Yet, they chose to remain silent. What then happened to the Witcher? That is a different tale entirely.
And that's where we wanted the game to end, like with an open question and open future. But while we were finishing the game, someone decided, like the board decided, or Mike Kicinski, that we needed an animated outro of the game. And the script for this, what we are seeing now for this animation, it was created not really involving the story team. So it was sort of, we weren't really paying attention. And that was a mistake, I think.
Your Highness. Master. Farewell, sir.
Because this animation tells a different story than the outro, like pictures. Because Geralt is still in Vizima, and he's deep into a political intrigue, because someone is trying to kill Foltest. And this someone, as you will see, is a witcher. And soon after that it became evident that the next game will have to follow up on this and tell a story about witchers who are killing kings for some reason. And that's why the second Witcher is very political, and there's not really room for exploring who Geralt is, his family, his history, and stuff like this. The team only get the chance to revisit that in The Witcher 3. That was a very satisfying half of the year playing The Witcher 1 and commenting and sharing stories. And thank you for accompanying me in this journey. I'm here, like the lead story designer. Yes. And also in game concept, and I also write some dialogues, but most of them were written by Sebastian Stępień and Marcin Blacha. So we won't be watching the whole credits. I just wanted to thank you once more for staying with me and watching the first Witcher, and let's hope that the remake will be a really good game. Thank you. And probably see you somewhere in the future. Bye bye.